Raila Odinga, a life of struggle, vision, and perseverance. Early life and family background. Raila Amollo Odinga was born on January 7, 1945 in Maseno, Kisumu County, then part of colonial Kenya. He was the son of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, one of Kenya's prominent freedom fighters, and it is first vice president after independence, and Mary Juma Odinga. Growing up in a family deeply involved in politics, Raila was exposed early to debates about nationalism, social justice, and the role of government. He had many siblings. Some sources say a large family, including from polygamous union. His childhood was shaped by both privilege and heavy responsibility that comes with bearing the name Odinga in Kenya. Public expectations, political tensions, and the weight of his father's legacy. Education. Raila's formal education began in schools in Nyanza province. He attended Kisumu Union Primary School, then Maranda Primary in Bondo, and later Maranda High School. In 1962, he won a scholarship to East Germany. He studied at the Herder Institute in Leipzig, then moved on to the Technical College of Magdeburg, part of what then the Germany Democratic Republic, where he studied mechanical engineering. He graduated around 1970. After his return to Kenya, he held roles as a lecturer at the University of Nairobi and worked at the Kenya Bureau of Standards, rising to the position of deputy director. He also started some businesses ventures, including East African Spectre, known in particular for manufacturing gas cylinders. Political life, activism, opposition, and detention. Coming from a political family, it was perhaps inevitable that Raila would be drawn into national politics. Kenya in 1970s and 1980s, under President Daniel Arap Moi, was progressively more authoritarian, especially with one-party rule, suppressing dissent. In 1982, following an attempted military coup, Raila was accused of being linked to the plot. He was placed under house arrest, later formally charged with treason, and detained without trial for about 6 years. During his detention, he suffered various hardships: separation from family, harsh conditions, deprivation, and psychological trauma. He missed many family events. For instance, he was only informed of his mother's death after a long delay. After his release in 1988, he continued activism, being arrested again in 1989 to 1990 for his role in pushing for multi-party democracy. In 1991, he fled into exile, Norway, because of the threat of further repression. As multi-party politics was legalized, Raila contested in various elections, leading opposition coalitions. He became a powerful voice for electoral reform, constitutional change, and transparent governance. His political path was marked by severe attempts to become president, losses, disputes over election results, but always persistent involvement in national issues. Personal life and family as foundation. Raila married Ida Betty Oyo in 1971. She was a teacher and later became known for her role as an activist in her own right, bearing the burden of family life, especially during his detentions. The couple had 4 children: Fidel, who died in 2015, Rosemary, Raila Jr., and Winnie. During his year in detention, it was Ida who held the family together, parenting children alone, dealing with social and state pressures. Their children were being chased out of school, being evicted from staff housing, Ida even losing her teaching job at Kenya High School. His children themselves had to grow up in difficult circumstances, often without their father being physically present due to incarceration. For example, his son Raila Jr. first properly saw his father at the age of 9. Political pinnacle in later years. Though Raila Odinga never attained the presidency, his political influence was substantial. He was a key figure in the movement to reinstate multi-party democracy in Kenya, culminating in reforms in the early 1990s. After the disputed 2007 election, which many saw as rigged, widespread violence and crisis followed. and Odinga played a central role in negotiating the formation of a power-sharing government, becoming Prime Minister in 2008. He also participated in drafting or advocating for the new constitution adopted in 2010, which introduced further devolution and checks on executive power. He ran for president multiple times. 5 is often cited, but was unsuccessful. Many of these losses were followed by national controversies or legal challenges. Even in his later years, despite age, health, and political wear, he remained active, mentoring, campaigning, engaging in negotiations, both domestically and in continental African politics. Death and legacy. On October 15, 2025, Raila Odinga died at the age of 80. He suffered a cardiac arrest while in India, Kerala. His passing led to a wave of national mourning. The President of Kenya declared several days of national mourning. Flags were flown at half-mast. Tributes poured in from across Kenya and beyond. His legacy is a complex one. As a champion of democracy and reform, a fierce opponent of one-party rule, a voice for marginalized communities, but also as a perpetual contender who never made it to the very top. He inspired many, especially those yearning for political opening, constitutional reform, and better governance. His family, especially his wife Ida, bore heavy burdens, but stood as key pillars in his life. Diana Muhwana.